Hello family, warmest welcome back again to the La Vista channel, to the old and the new family. I say thank you so much for coming back, and if this is your first time stopping by, please consider subscribing to the family for new recipes every week. Today, as you can tell from the title, we are making some tomato puree or tomato paste. This is really very vital, especially in the season when we have a boom of tomatoes. So please stay tuned while I take you through. So long story short, one good sister of mine, Sister Joyce, called us one day and told us about a store that is, closing down. Or I don't know if they are closing down or they had a massive sales on their vegetables and fruit department, and we went and we loved bargains. Trust me family, all these tomatoes were just 12 crowns, and I was like, what? The second batch is in the freezer, and yes, that is how we're doing. And this one I particularly wanted to make tomato puree out of them, and I say, oh, let me film it and let the family also know. The first thing I like to do is wash them very thoroughly, because it was a lot, and I think a whole lot of people touched them. So please wash them thoroughly. I go out of my way to also wash it with some vinegar. After the first wash with vinegar, you go ahead and rinse it again, and when all that is done, I go ahead to squeeze out the seeds from my tomatoes, because I do not need them in this recipe. So yes, after deseeding them, I just go ahead to cut them off, and this is the part that might take you a little bit longer. A lot of people do not mind having the seed in, but I do not have like a super blender here. So if you're like me and you do not have like a very sharp blender, you just might go ahead and take off the seed out of your tomatoes. Yes, your tomato puree must be smooth as possible. So after achieving that, I go ahead, I need the juice but not the seed, so I go ahead to sieve out the juice from the tomato seeds, because there's a lot of juice. This is what I'm going to use to boil down my tomatoes, because you do not need to add water. All that you need is the juice of the tomato. So, and there you have it. I got what I wanted. So I go ahead to put all my tomatoes in here and put everything to a boil, including my red bell peppers. These red bell peppers will help bring more color to your tomato paste. So I just boil it down. So I'm not gonna lie, this is going to take you a really long time for it to boil down. So it's always advisable to do it in bulk, which is the lesson that I learned. Because the time that it would take you to prepare it in bulk is the same time it would take you to prepare it in small portions. So I just wish I put everything that I bought into a paste form, because it turned out so good. So this took me almost like 2.5 hours for me to get to this stage. So you just have to also be careful to always come and check on it and stir it, and after that you put them to a blend. You just blend it well for you to get like a very smooth paste. And that is all that you have to do. After that, you put it in a pan and now allow it to simmer. You do not have to overcook this. You just slowly cook it for 20 minutes, and I promise you, your tomato paste is done. I love how it turned out, because when you buy the original tomato paste from the supermarket or wherever, you will notice that it is somehow sour, and in order to get rid of the sourness, you will end up spending so much time with your stew process. And with this particular method, you are not going to have that problem. Just look at how it turned out, family. This is super authentic, and it would just make your stew or soup process really, really quick. And I noticed that the more you allow it to cool down, the thicker it becomes, and it's just amazing without any preservative or any form of chemicals. I am able to make my tomato paste, and it was just pure joy doing this. And this is what I do. I place them in my ice cubes, and these are going to be used in my soup. Put the most part in my glass container, because I'm going to be cooking over this weekend, and I'm going to use it in my stew that I'm going to make a big batch of chicken stew, and I'm going to use that. And I use some right away because I was making some little soup, and I used it, and the soup really turned out so great. And if you're going to preserve it, please make sure you put some olive oil or coconut oil or any type of oil that you have. Put it on top before you put it in your fridge for longer preservation. And I froze these ones in the ice cubes, and it came out just perfect. I'm just going to plastic bags and put it back to the freezer. Anytime that I want them in the soup, I just go ahead and take 1 or 2 in the soup, and my soup is going to, I already know the results that came with when I used it in my soup. It came out just perfect. And yes, I'm really, really happy, and I know I'm going back to buy more and do more, because short times are coming that tomatoes is going to be really very expensive. And as the saying goes, make HALE while the sun shines. So this is the sunshine period for tomatoes, and I know even in Ghana now, if you're watching me from Ghana, this is the tomato season. So grab as much as you can and preserve those and freeze these, and I know it's going to last you for a very long time. Even more important, it's going to make your cooking process really, really very fast, and all that sourness that you get from tomato paste, these doesn't have them. So good for you. Please go for your way and grab as much tomatoes as you can. Take time for you to do it, but it is absolutely worth it, and I think nothing will ever be compared to homemade things. So it was done right under your eyes, so you are just so certain of what you are having in your tomato paste. So family, this brings us to the end of another great edition, which I really absolutely love. I really do hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope it was helpful. And if it was, please do not forget to share, like, and comment below. Please do not enjoy it alone. Please try to share as much as you can for others to also join the family, and let's grow our family into a much bigger one. Thank you so much for being here today and having me today. And if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing and join the family. Until then, thank you so much once again, and see you in my next video. Bye.